Being an ambassador is an important job. You represent the United States. Did you know, though, you could buy an ambassadorship? Presidents often turn to campaign donors, and they turn to make them into diplomats, even if they do not have foreign service experience. But did President Obama go too far with his latest choice for ambassador to Argentina?
Mr. Mehmet, have you been to Argentina?
Senator, I haven't had the opportunity yet to be there. I've traveled pretty extensively around the world, but I haven't yet had a chance.
You heard right. The nominee has never even been to Argentina. Former UN spokesman Richard Grenell joined us. Now, as a practical matter, President Bush had, I think, his ambassador of Canada had been there once as a tourist to Niagara Falls, so it's not unheard of.
Canada's economy wasn't collapsing, though. I mean, look, Argentina is under some very serious problems, and it just seems like a legitimate question during the vetting process that you would say, hey, what do you know about Argentina? Do you speak the language? Have you ever been there? This is more a problem for the vetting process, I think, than it is for having a political appointee go to an ambassadorship. It happens all the time, and it's okay, as long as they're an expert, at least a quasi-expert on the country that they're going to.
We should probably explain that if you're going to be an ambassador to Pakistan or Afghanistan or India, one of those countries that are very important, you know, strategically the United States, you're a career foreign service officer.
Yeah.
But there's this sort of collection of others that are, there's gimmies for to donors.
Well, the foreign service officer system, you know, they say there are certain countries that we absolutely own, that you can't take, the political process can't take. There's a country, you know, a debate when we have Turkey, for instance, there's an argument that the political appointees should take that because it's strategically an important country, but the foreign service officers want somebody. I think the solution is, if you're going to put a political person there, let's make them an expert. Let's have them know something about the country. I don't want to dump on all political appointees as being naive. It's just the fundraisers, I think, are going to have to. If you're just going to fundraise in this process, you're going to have to know something about the country you're going to.
I would have thought, you know, you would think, though, that everyone would be sort of hip to this. At least he could have taken his Christmas vacation and gone down there and, like, you know, traveled around. You know, it's summer down there at this time of year, and bicycled around and seen a little bit about Argentina.
He knew he was getting the job in April of 2013. I mean, here's a guy who's supposed to be a political expert, but in April of 2013, he knew he was going to get Argentina. He was nominated in July. He still hasn't gone?
It must be sort of insulting to a country when they know that they're just getting a donor, someone who's bundled a lot of money. It's sort of a signal that you really don't matter. We just need to sort of satisfy our donor.
Well, I don't think they want the United States telling them what to do anyway. So the U.S. ambassador is, you know, going to be just somebody there representing that country. I don't think they are going to look to that guy for advice on their collapsing economy.
Is there any instance, I mean, Carolyn Kennedy's in Japan, and I did a little research. She went there in the late 70s with her uncle for a short time, and on our honeymoon she made a little stop there. Yet, you know, she's now our ambassador to Japan, but she's got a famous name. Is that helpful to the United States? I mean, is she a powerful ambassador as a result? If
it's not a hostile country, if they're not having incredible problems, then I think that, you know, the ambassador becomes the person who is going to give the July 4th party, and it's going to be a really big party at the embassy. And that's what they tend to do in Europe and other places.
Rick, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
And our panel is back. The Hill's A.B. Stoddard, Washington Examiner Chief Political Correspondent Byron York, and USA Today Kirsten Powers. Kirsten, to you, any problem with these ambassadors, the way that we choose them?
Well, I think, I mean, I tend to agree with everything that Rick said. I don't think that they have very important sort of strategic jobs, right? These are ambassadors. They throw parties. They entertain. They're not making important foreign policy decisions. That said, it seems like you could find somebody who has some knowledge of the country. I think they should be able to speak the language personally, because I think a lot of countries look at Americans and they feel, you know, why there's sort of an arrogance, right, that we think we can come into their country and we don't know anything about them, never have been there, and don't speak their language.